Shalom to everyone, and welcome back to another teaching. And today we are focusing on the real story behind Hanukkah. So we are diving into historical facts, separating really the myth from reality, and exploring what this ancient festival means for even us today in modern times. So whether you are Jewish, Christian, or just curious, there is definitely something for everyone within Chanukah. So Chanukah, or Hanukkah as some would pronounce it, Chanukah is an 8-day Jewish festival commemorating a key event in the second century BCE, known as the Festival of Lights. And it stems from a story of resistance against cultural oppression. So this isn't just a tale of miracles. It is rooted in a real history that shaped Jewish identity as we know it today. So the core of Hanukkah is really the Maccabean revolt, detailed in the book of Maccabees, part of the Apocrypha, which some Christian traditions include, though it is not included in the Hebrew Bible. This was a real uprising against foreign rule backed by historical records. So we need to picture it as a David versus Goliath story, but the scene involved guerrillas fighting for the survival of their faith. So around 167 BCE, Antiochus Epiphanes of the Seleucid Empire controlled Judea, today's Israel, and he forced Greek Hellenistic culture on the Jews, outlawing practices like circumcision, Sabbath keeping, and Torah study. The ultimate insult came when he defiled the Second Temple by sacrificing pigs there and erecting a statue of Zeus. So this oppression lit the fuse for rebellion, literally and then figuratively. So this tyranny sparked a revolt led by Mattathias, a Jewish priest, and his sons, including the famous Judah Maccabee, nicknamed the Hammer. And they built a guerrilla army to battle the superior Greek forces. But it wasn't only Jews versus Greek. It was also an internal conflict between Orthodox Jews and those who adopted Greek ways. Courage in the face of division is a big theme in this story here. After the 3 grueling years, the Maccabees reclaimed Jerusalem in 164 BCE. They purified the temple and rededicated it. Chanukah actually means then dedication in Hebrew. From this victory, they founded the Hasmonean dynasty, ruling independently for roughly a century before the Romans took over. So this marks the triumph of perseverance over the empire. This isn't just a legend. Archaeology backs it up. We found slings, stones, arrowheads, battlefields, and accounts from historians like Flavius Josephus. And these tangible proofs remind us that Hanukkah is grounded in real events, not just stories passed down. So if there is an image that we can subscribe to ourselves, it really lies into the historical events. So now the famous miracle of the oil. It's not in the original Maccabees text. Rabbinic traditions really in the Talmud from around 500 CE says the Maccabees found just enough pure oil for one day to light the temple's 7-branched menorah. but miraculously it lasted 8 days. That's why we celebrate for 8 days with the nine-branched Chanukah, one extra candle as the shamash to light the others. So historians see this oil miracle as a later addition, perhaps to downplay the revolt, violence during the Roman times, and emphasize God's intervention instead. So the early focus was on a military victory and rededication. Traditions like frying latkes and savganyot to the oil, while dreidels and chocolate geld came from medieval Europe to educate kids. Folklore evolved, but the heart remains the same. Chanukah isn't just in the Old Testament, but because it postdates the Hebrew Bible finalization, but it does appear in the New Testament as the Feast of Dedication. So in John 10, verse 22 to 23, we read, "Then came the festival of dedication at Jerusalem. It was winter, and Yeshua, now that's Jesus, was in the temple courts walking in Solomon's colonnade." This ties Chanukah to a broader biblical narratives. So does the Bible say Yeshua lit candles and enjoy latkes? Not explicitly, but the presence in the temple during the feast suggests that he participated. As an observant Jew, Yeshua would have kept Jewish holidays, and he's teaching amid the celebrations. Many Christian scholars see this as Yeshua embodying Chanukah's theme, referring then to himself as the light of the world, according to John 8:12, and addressing the messianic questions in John 10, verse 24 to 39. So it's really a bridge between traditions. So Chanukah's lessons go far beyond the past, giving us tools for today. First, resistance to assimilation and cultural erosion. It urges us to hold on to our identity when society pressurizes us to blend in. In our globalization era, this means defending uh, every value, your values or your community's traditions against overwhelming trends, to stand firm like the Maccabees did. So another key lesson is the light over the darkness, symbolizing hope and resilience. Lighting one more candle each night represents steady progress. It's a reminder to spread positivity in dark times, wars, personal hardships, whatever. As the saying goes, don't curse the darkness, light a candle. Apply this daily for a brighter outlook. Courage is huge here. The Maccabees were underdogs, battling for religious freedom. This inspires us to confront injustice today, from anti Semitism to a broader oppression or inequality. Whether speaking up in your community or online, Chanukah says, be the hammer against wrongdoing, even when the odds seem stacked. Gratitude and simplicity remind us to find joy without overindulgence. Gifts are modern twists, but Chanukah's core is about family, shared meals, and reflections. In our consumer driven world today, this lesson encourages appreciation, the simple things, like a warm gathering or a meaningful conversation over material excess. So finally, spiritual growth, each new light added Nightly teaches us to keep improving ourselves. Don't get complacent in your faith, ethics, or personal development. Chanukah calls for ongoing dedication, just like the temple's rededication. So as we wrap up, we need to remember, what light can you shed in the world today? Thanks for watching, and Chag Sameach Chanukah, and may you have a happy Chanukah.